Industrial estates can be very busy places, and I think that this one's going to be a bit busy from time to time as I'm running through this month's sales tip, the sales tip for June 2019. So if I have to raise my voice, please do appreciate I'm just trying to speak over the traffic. Look, we're all busy people. We have appointments at places like this, industrial estates or science parks maybe, and we have a full diary. We need to get in, complete the appointment and get off to our next commitment. But should we? Or should we actually ensure that we've got sufficient time in our diaries to use visits to places such as this to actually bolster our databases, increase the number of opportunities that we're after, and maybe learn a little bit more about customers and potential customers? Well, what am I talking about? Well, first of all, in terms of prospect names, the first thing normally that you see when you come into an industrial estate like this is a big board which lists all of the names of the companies that are present. Do you have them all on your database? Or at least the ones that are relevant to you and the proposition that you're responsible for promoting and selling. And don't just think of the names of the companies that are here. Those companies could be actually part of a larger group, and other companies within that group could provide you with other selling opportunities. With smartphones, it doesn't take a second just to get a photograph of that board, so when you get back to the office you can check these things out. And also, by the way, don't forget, there's plenty of trucks, vans, lorries around with the names of other companies. These other companies that are delivering products and services to the industrial concerns that are based here. In fact, one's about to pass by now. So again, that may give you other clues about potential prospect names that you can approach. And you know, this is not just about a gold mine in terms of names of other prospect companies that you can approach. It can provide you with lots of information also. Take the company you visited, for example. What do they look like? You go into the car park, do they have traditional vehicles there? Is it set out traditionally? How does the reception look? Does that look very traditional too? Because if that's the case, when you're actually presenting your proposition and you're talking about how this is groundbreaking, new, cutting edge, it might be the very thing that really turns them off rather than turns them on. Maybe if the business looks like that, we've got to talk about traditional values, how you are proven in an established marketplace. Maybe that's going to be more in keeping with the kind of culture they've got. And of course, exactly the opposite would be true if you went into one of these companies and it looked very new, modern, cutting edge, the reception was very techy, etc. And the other thing to bear in mind, you know, we get focused these days on winning appointments via telephone and engaging with customers. What's happened to the good old days of actually knocking on a door and cold calling? You know, because if there is a company here and it looks like it could be useful to you, okay, maybe you're not going to get an appointment there and then, but what's the harm in actually calling in, going into reception and politely asking about who the appropriate person is going to be to forward information to, so that maybe you have got more opportunity toward an appointment when you get back to the office, maybe asking something about them. And you know, why not even ask, look, while I'm here, I know it's asking a lot, I'm not expecting to have a long appointment, but would it be possible just to say hello to Mr. Smith or Mrs. Jones so that they know the face when I send through the information for them just as soon as I get back to the office? As I say, I'm not expecting an appointment now, but it'd be great just to say hello. What's the worst that's going to happen? The worst that's going to happen is they'll say, well, that's not really appropriate, in which case you can say, okay, I fully appreciate that, but look, here's my business card, which means you need to have it with you. Could you just tell them I popped in and did say hello, so that they are aware and are waiting for the package of information that I'm going to forward through to them just as soon as I can. So, industrial estates, or it could be a science park that we're calling at, fabulous sources of information, names about potential new business opportunities, be that if they're located there, or it might give you a clue to a larger group they're involved with, and maybe a different part of that group is more appropriate to you. Great sources of information if you keep these things working and keep your eyes open for clues about the prospects who maybe you're going to see in the future, or maybe you're going to see that day. And you know, maybe why not even ask if you can see somebody whilst you're here, if it looks like they're going to be a potential useful prospect to you. Expose yourself to the danger of winning an appointment. Ask for it. Okay, I hope that's provided a few thoughts. Please make sure when you're visiting places like this, you haven't left just enough room to get in, conduct the appointments and get out again. Leave yourself a little bit of extra time in your diary to give you that opportunity to conduct what could be really useful research to help you increase the number of worthwhile prospects that you're pursuing. Hope that makes sense. Look forward to seeing you next month.